Hello, my name is Curtis. I am the owner slash lead developer for R14 development, and today we're going to be taking a look at our R14 small resources script that we'll be releasing today. So this is going to be a pack of just small resources, kind of like QB small resources, that enables some cool functionality and allow us to combine maybe some of the other resources that you've had running, or maybe some of the random threads that you put into some other resources on your server. Um, to improve the quality of life for our players on the server. Um, there's a few main features of this script that I'm going to start with. So we're going to go ahead and start with the ability to force first person. There's three options in the config for when you can do this. You can set it when you get in a vehicle to drive in the driver's seat. You can also set it when you're driving and aiming from a vehicle. So when you're shooting from a vehicle, it will force you into first person mode. And we can also set it whenever we free aim. So right now in the config, it's enabled that whenever we aim from a vehicle, we will get a first person view. So we can go ahead and try to flip someone off here, and we'll see that our camera goes into the first person view. Our resource usage comes just a tiny bit. Currently, it's set up for whatever any type of weapon, intentionally for resource usage, mainly so that we don't have to worry about adding an additional strain on the thread by checking what weapon we're aiming with. So yeah, we see here on the bike, we no longer just get a free, third-person view. We actually have to consider the fact that, hey, I can't turn around and shoot behind me without actually being impaired by the my character's ability to reach back there and actually aim. And then again, you can enable it to whenever you get in a vehicle. Maybe you have a server where you want drivers to actually have to look through the windscreen of their vehicle whenever they're in a vehicle, or maybe you want it whenever someone is aiming. So whenever we get even off the bike, whenever we pull out our weapon, we're going to be in the first person view here. So I'm going to show off the second major feature of this script. The one that I like most about it as well is going to be our peek functionality. So right now, in most GTA servers, when you press your V key, you're going to switch between camera modes here. So we see I have my close view, my far view, my even farther view, and then I pop into my my first person view here. What this allows us to do is when you press the V key and hold it, we go into first person view. So I'm holding my key now, and when let's say I pop off some shots, I run around, I jump, and then when I release my V key right now, I'm gonna pop back into third person view. So this just allows you to quickly pop into your eyes or peek through your eyes, maybe to look at a scene, look at something closer, where you don't necessarily want to okay, I need to go to that view and then that view and then that view. Okay, I'm in first person and now I want to switch back. So that's the second major feature of this script. You can see it's not impacting resources, your Resmon usage that much. Currently all the features of this script are enabled, so if you disable this feature as well, you're going to see a drop in resource usage. So the last major feature of the script is going to be the removal of action mode. So this is actually, I posted this open source, but if you just want a resource that you want to drop in and it works every time, instead of, let's stop the script here. Instead of shooting and then doing this weird walk that looks like we're, I don't even know how to describe this. I hate this. I'm sure all your players hate this. I'm sure you hate this. And if you've spent countless hours trying to figure out what causes it or how to disable it, well, guess what? I got news for you. If you pop on small resources again, and I shoot, I am in my normal stance immediately. No more punching, going into that weird walk. You immediately fall back into your normal ped stance. So this script allows you to disable action mode. You're gonna solve you're gonna your players are gonna thank you for it. If you don't want to buy the resources and you still want to disable action mode, just take a look at the QB Core server. I did drop the same code that is in this script in a thread at some point. You'll be able to find it. I can also repost it on my Discord because I hate action mode, and I don't think any GTA role player should have to deal with it. So let's go ahead and test out a small feature of this script. We're going to throw on our hat here that we have on stored. And now you see we have a night vision helmet. Thing about this script is you can require an item to do this. So you can specify an item that you want to enable night vision. But if I just use my comma here, we're going to see that I have night vision ability now. So I just boop, boop. And right now it's set up that I don't have an item in my pocket or anything, but you could very easily create an item and then specify it in your config that will only allow you to activate that night vision mode when you have the item in your pocket. So maybe you create like a night vision helmet specifically, or maybe like night vision tube, and then your roleplay reason is that, you know, you can buy fake night vision goggles in any store, but you're only going to be able to get real night vision goggles if you pay a lot of money for them. Another feature of the script here we have is disable air control. So a lot of servers hunt down this resource through open source means, and it doesn't really work. If you have our open source resource for it, that's fine. But if you buy our 14 small resources, it comes enabled. It's going to disable the ability to control our car in the air. So here I am just at the mercy of gravity. And you can see that I'm not able to flatten myself out or level my trajectory. And I just fall as physics would allow. I cannot do anything to control my movement. It also is going to allow your cars to flip easier, because you're not going to be able to roll it back onto its wheels as easy. It doesn't solve some of the issues with cars kind of popping onto their wheels. That's actually a config issue. Or not a config issue, a vehicle meta handling issue. There is a you're able to specify the amount of force that a vehicle rolls back onto its tires with, and this resource will not affect like bikes or anything. So if I get a BMX bike here and I jump around, I'm still more than able to control it. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pop a wheelie here. I'm fully able to control myself in the air on my bike. It also does not affect helicopters at all, or aircraft, so you don't have to worry about your that's a lot of problems I've seen with those free resources, is that they affect vehicles that they shouldn't, and then all of a sudden you can't pilot a helicopter. So this helicopter here is for a reason, because our next small resource is just a small one, but I think is a cool one. So when we get in a helicopter, our audio is all normal for a moment, but when we activate a helicopter or a plane, you're going to hear that our audio actually muffles. So this resource handles setting a submix in the using kind of how your radios work. You enable a submix and it alters the audio output of the game essentially. So now we can hear, we have like a kind of like a suppressed in-flight headset type of sound to our game. And it does affect everything. So it does affect the radio stations. Go ahead and swap this for a Buzzard. You see once we're out of the vehicle, changes. So now we have a Buzzard, and if we shoot the weapons, you can hear that the weapons are muffled as well. Player audio is also muffled in this resource, since it's affecting all audio output of the game. So you will hear like a cockpit headset version of other players' voices when you're using this resource. So there's also a few other small config options, mainly what I ped setters. There's a ped setter Lua. What it's going to do is set some ped config flags. So we disable auto start on vehicles and also disable auto off of vehicles. So when I get out of this helicopter, on most servers, it's going to go ahead and turn off. Oh, actually, aircraft, I forgot, are still affected by it. Let's say this this vehicle here. We're going to Start her up. When we get out, you can actually hear that engine is still running, and when I get in, it's going to drive off because its engine is still on. And then also when we, turn off our engine, if I get out and get back in, I can hold forward if I want. I can hold back. It's not going to start our engine automatically when we get in, or when we use our front or back muscles to actually move the vehicle. I actually have to physically turn the vehicle on to get it to move. We also have a small resource that disables the combat roll if you want to. It's a combat improvement. So in addition to the first person aiming that you can force, you can also disable our combat roll. So if I go ahead and attempt to combat roll, I'm not able to right now. 90% of the time you're not able to combat roll. There is an issue. Basically, there's no way to outright disable a combat roll, so you have to check for a bunch of things. So if I very quickly attempt to, there we go. If I very quickly attempt to aim or shoot and then roll, I can occasionally combat roll, but once I'm shooting, there's almost no way to actually get it to combat roll. So essentially, at the very least, you're extremely raising the bar for someone to actually use a combat roll in combat effectively, and kind of making your server a little more realistic on the combat front, rather than just having a bunch of people, let's go ahead and disable small resources. Oh, just shoot out, just roll whenever you can. It's a guaranteed way to win. So, go ahead and review any of the possible final things in this resource. This is set up for QB Core, so it is using your QB Core functions. Everything in it could be converted to standalone. Oh, final thing. I believe QB Core has some built-in resources, but you do have the ability to open doors. And this is doors 1 through 4. So I'm able to open the doors. I'm able to use this command inside the car as well. So door 1, 4. And if I enter it without a argument here, I'm going to get a notification that says, hey, there's 4 seats in this car. So I can also change seats, and that can be prevented from changing seats with a export for your seat belts, built in for QB small resources, but you can set it up for any resource that has a ability to check it through an export. So let's go ahead and change seats here, and I can change seats in the vehicle. Problem. And then if I call a blank argument, if I just hit seat, it's going to actually show me the number of seats the vehicles have. So if your player isn't sure how many seats are in a vehicle, they can check very easily. Let's go ahead and grab a bus here, and then do seat 11. So we move to 11. If I call it without an argument, we're going to see this vehicle has 16 seats. I also have the ability to change our livery via command. So if I do a blank one, never mind, I did not implement that. That will be fixed before release today. The command has been fixed. There was an alteration to the config with the last update, and it was not updated in the server side. But now we can go ahead and see a livery 2, 3. We can actually restrict the livery change to either mods, admins, or emergency services. There is an included job checking function that allows you to check whether a person is a cop, a first responder, or an EMS member. You can set it up however you wish. And then finally, if we use our blank livery command, it's going to go ahead and inform us that this vehicle has 6 liveries. And we also have a dome light command. So, boom, we're able to fix our dome. So if you have a server where, let's say, your dome light gets set all the time, you don't want to be lit up like, an asshole sitting in a police cruiser with the engine off with the dome light, you just think dome. All right, I believe that is everything in this script. Disable air control, auto start, livery commands, seat commands, door commands. Oh, we also have the ability to roll down our windows. Final one. So window 1. Or window 1. Right, there we go. Actually put our window down. So if we go ahead and here, You can see that our window goes up and down. All right, that is r14-smallresources. I'm gonna go ahead and get that livery command fixed. Yeah, I'll probably add a little bit to the end of the video just to actually show that it works. But have a good day.